anywhere. No peace, no privacy. It's all on the camera. Ciao, bye bye. Au revoir.
Pour faire une histoire courte, pas seulement un frère musicien, moi et Pierre, on était des inséparables. Depuis notre tout jeune âge, on a fait les 400 coups. Michel jouait de la guitare à ce moment-là, puis aussitôt qu'il partait à l'école, moi je n'allais pas encore à l'école, aussitôt j'ouvrais son caisse de guitare, puis je prenais sa guitare, puis je m'amusais avec sa guitare, j'essayais de replacer ça pour pas que ça paraisse. Puis un moment donné, j'ai trouvé une petite guitare, j'ai enlevé 5 cordes sur 6, j'ai laissé seulement la grosse corde. Et puis là, il faisait des lignes de basse là-dessus. Je me suis dit, wow, ça y est, on a un bassiste. Et puis il s'est mis à jouer de la basse. Au début, il était dans l'orchestre paternel. Après ça, c'est ça, on s'est mis à faire du jazz. Puis ça n'a jamais vraiment dérougi. C'est sûr qu'à Québec, musicien de jazz, tout le monde joue avec tout le monde. Mais de temps en temps, quand on joue ensemble, on n'a même pas besoin de se dire qu'est-ce qu'on joue. Qu'est-ce qu'on va jouer. C'est déjà commencé avant.
Quelle tonalité?
Non. On n'a pas moyen de se perdre. Il s'est rendu même souvent, on essaye de se perdre. On y arrive pas. Ça fait que je pense que c'est pas nécessaire d'être vraiment jumeau.
Non, c'est ça.
Je suis bien content d'avoir comme petit frère. C'est réciproque.
My father had traveled to France and spent 5 years living here working with Noble Sissel's band and several other groups doing society work, and he had come to New York and done some of the Black Broadway shows that were going on in the late 20s and the early 30s. And I was born in 1934 in this setting. I started on the saxophone with my father and my uncles, and then switched to the drums at the age of 6. I finished up at Manhattan School of Music in New York after getting a teaching degree from the University of Illinois. I wound up playing in about 25 or 30 Broadway productions, wound up doing studio work and more than 2,000 recordings over that period of time of the last 50 years since I've been in New York. It's a good life.
François, t'as dit ça?
The bass is very clear and plenty loud in the room. It's good. I think a little tiny bit more piano and a tiny bit and a little reverb on the piano sound. Just a little tiny bit.
We got a lot of low hand,
Yeah.
which disappeared tonight.
Good.
I started singing and studying music when I was a child, 6 and 7 years old, and I always liked music a lot, but I didn't really hear jazz and fall in love with jazz until my college years. But it was really another 10 years after that I finally got very serious about it and said, I'm not going to have any other job. This is just the only thing I'm going to do. And I was lucky enough to move to Los Angeles at that time and meet Christian Jacob and Ray Brinker and Trey Henry and Kevin Axt. And they're the guys that I still have in my band 15 years later. You know, it's really like a marriage with 5 people in it. It's crazy, but it's very satisfying and unusual.
Whatever Lola wants, la 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 Lola gets.
My advice always is to find a way to fall in love with the music, regardless of where it takes you.
That's what I've got to
No
work on.
exception to the rule. I'm irresistible, you fool.
The happiness of your life is set because you are enjoying the process, not the result. Canada and French Canada is very interesting to me and very special. There's a sense of intelligence and culture that is a European/Canadian sensibility, and as somebody from the States, you feel the difference, and as a jazz musician from the States, I really feel the difference. And I sense a love of culture and a love of art on the part of the people here. And I think that this will probably become a very successful, well-known, and excellent festival.
And then we all arrive in front of her house at the same time.
That's right. We all right in my house at the same time.
Michel, et merci beaucoup pour Largo aussi de m'avoir invité, et vous êtes un public fantastique. Merci beaucoup.
I started to play in the dark, the piano, turn off all the lights in the house when I was about 8 years old and play the piano. And I had this very good feeling about just improvising in the dark. So, on the radio at this time, because I was born in 1941, this is by the beginning of almost 1950, there's a lot of music on the radio which has the bass in it. I began playing the bass when I was 13 in the school orchestra, and soon really discovered jazz music. And what drew me to it really was the energy of it. The bass had a big place in it, and the feeling of the music was a good feeling. I could feel it. When Ralph was a friend of mine already, he decided to play and study the classical guitar, and when he did, I began using that technique. I found the bass technique that I needed. So that was in 1964 I found that, and it took me about 10 years to figure out what that meant, and to begin to, or at least 4 or 5 years to begin to get a sound with that. I was just sort of sucked in, and I'm still practicing and playing and learning and studying and teaching what I know. So it's a never-ending story. You're a student for life if you pick music, if music picks you.
When I was 13, I took up the oboe, and I really fell in love with it. It was a perfect instrument for me. And this got me really excited when I realized that I could improvise and make up music by myself. I met Paul Winter, who had a group with double reeds, and this led me into the jazz world, but not playing the saxophone, but playing the oboe and the English horn.
And this was really the beginning for me in terms of being an improviser on these unusual instruments that I play.
Bonjour, nous sommes le Mardi Gras Band. Nous avons beaucoup de plaisir de jouer de cette musique et les gens qui nous écoutent, ils avaient beaucoup de plaisir aussi d'entendre cette musique. Avec le plaisir qu'on a, j'imagine que ça va donner beaucoup aux gens et au monde. J'aime toujours le jazz de tous les styles, de toutes les sortes. Puis qu'est-ce que j'aime le plus dans tout le temps, c'est les gens avec qui je joue avec.